You are like, why? How dare you? Why, do you know that this show ended in May? How dare you bring yourself on to YouTube to talk about episode 11 of Seeking Sister Wife? And that's because here's the deal. I may be a procrastinator. I may be somebody that unfortunately at this moment cannot be really dependent on for these recaps. But the one thing that I am not is a quitter. So we've already got the pictures queued up. It's a sneak attack. No one knows I'm going live right now. So if you guys are not watching this live, I absolutely do not blame you. I don't blame you. But let some people come into the room because I know y'all will eventually get there. And let's talk about episode 11 of Seeking Sister Wife, because there's a lot to unpack here. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to watch episode 12 of Seeking Sister Wife and possibly go live tomorrow. In fact, let me set my alarm for 5 a.m. I don't know, so that I can get up and go live with you guys. We'll have a morning live kiki where we talk about Seeking Sister Wife. Okay, you guys, let's jump right into this episode. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Seeking Sister Wife. This is season 3, episode 11, Can't Fight This Feeling. And you know who's fighting these feelings? Danielle. Okay? Danielle Merrifield is fighting all the feelings at all times. Okay? She is up in arms. So let's just go on ahead and start with them because that is the most interesting couple of this episode. This is a good episode. It's a good episode. But let's just jump right into it. For those of you guys who do not know, Seeking Sister Wife is a show on TLC. It was coming on Monday nights at some time, or maybe another time at another time. I don't know. And it's basically about people who are in a marriage who have decided to become polygamous. Now we have one couple on there that is actually Mormon fundamental polygamists. Maybe not fundamental, but definitely Mormon polygamists. And those are the Winders. But first, let's start with the Merrifields, and that is Garrett and Danielle. Now, why they are interesting is because Garrett got really bored in his relationship. And he therefore then I don't have a picture of them. Therefore then decided, let me get this picture of them, that God, not unlike Moses and the burning bush, spoke to him and said, you know what will make this situation with your wife that's already kind of not the best even better? Is if you tell her that I told you to get another wife. And so they have been praying, these two, the Merrifields, that Danielle pulls into her heart a feeling of acceptance and love for what is, he believes, God's plan for their family. So we see Danielle with the green and we have Bert in the red. And Garrett, this man, has even gone as far as to divorce legally his wife, Danielle, so that he can bring his potential second wife, Bert, to the U.S. She's Brazilian. Now, Bert has said that she's not going to be down with this if Danielle isn't comfortable for it. And baby, let me tell you, Danielle is not comfortable with this. So let's start off with where they are in their relationship at this point. Pandemic has hit. Okay, they decided not to get married. Unclear why. It's unclear to me why they can't just get married and try to make a baby at the same time. But Bert and Garrett have decided that they're not going to let the pandemic stop them from fulfilling God's plan, God's prophecy, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Not, come on, what you say now? Well, all right. Hey, come on. You are the only one who makes me feel this way. You turn my life today. Lord, I just want to say and tell you that is God's property. Okay, I got it mixed up for a second. So anyways, Danielle has been really struggling with this. And since the pandemic hit, Garrett and Bert have decided that instead of getting married, they're just going to go on ahead and start having kids. And Danielle's sister-in-law, her brother's wife, has put a bug in her ear saying, hey, that's not a good idea. Because what if Garrett just moves to Brazil? What if Garrett decides that he doesn't want this little family here in Buena Vista, Colorado, and he went on and he just gone ahead and moved to Brazil because Bert is pregnant? So now this has sown some seeds in Danielle's head. So Danielle and Garrick have their 13th wedding anniversary, which isn't quite real because at this point they've actually already gotten divorced so that he could marry Bert, but he can't really do anything with Bert now besides, I guess, have sex with her. It just doesn't make any sense. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, then please go on ahead. Oh, Lynn J, welcome to this room. Thank you so much for being here. I missed you yesterday. If you guys know why it makes more sense for him to try to start a family with Bert as opposed to just marrying him and her, and like maybe Danielle as a witness in Puerto Vallarta, why is it that they have to start making a family first? Who knows? But now Danielle's upset. So they have their anniversary. Okay. They're out and about in Colorado. And I imagine that Danielle wants this time to be all about her, but they're filming a show. So it can't be all about her. So immediately it seems it's edited for us to believe that as soon as they sit down, Danielle's looking good. She got the tetas out, girl. She got, you know what I'm saying? She got a nice little bit of cleavage out, you know. He starts talking about Bert and how he wants to take a picture to show Bert and how he's really excited about everything that's going to happen with him and Bert. And then they do a cheers, and it's cheers. Cheers. God helped us stay together. And Danielle's like, yep, it was God. It was all God. It was all of it. The reason why we are together is because God did this. And Garrett says, you know what? God has never let me down. So I know that this is the right move. He put this thought into my head, and I know this is the right move. He starts talking about the visa, how he's worried about the visa. And then Danielle says, you know what? Honestly, I honestly wish that you guys would just wait. I wish that you guys would just wait until this pandemic is over. And Garrett's like, no, I don't understand. We can't wait. The Bible says, thine waiteth, thine loseth outeth on thingeth. This is. Okay? And Danny, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. It definitely is God, girl. It's God. That's what. You know what I often wonder with these people who have a personal relationship with God and have conversations with God on the daily, how do you know what is a thought of something that you really want versus a thought of something that God put in your head? Like, how do you distinguish the divinity, the divine thoughts versus your own thoughts? I don't know, but you know, here we go. Thank you so much for the super chat, Danielle, and I hope that you are well. You look lovely, honey bunny. Miss you. Hugs, hugs, kisses, kisses. Next time I'm in Texas, I will let you know. Okay. So, anywho, so God tells him that in his brainsicles, and that's how he knows what they need to do. And so then he says that he quotes a scripture. Why waiteth when you don't have to waiteth? Is what he says. And Danielle was like, well, there's scriptures that say to wait and be cautious. And he's like, no, there's not. Where? What? Quote. If you can't quote it, then it's not in there. And I'm like, okay, listen, as somebody who grew up in the church, now you have to know that there are contradicting scriptures all about. So if there is a scripture that says full speed ahead, there's definitely a scripture that says hold your horses, okay? It's so, he was like, if you can't quote the scripture, Danielle, it didn't happen. Quote it. And she's like, it's quote it. Garrett, it's definitely in there. If you can't quote it, it's not in there. So stop being funny. Stop acting funny. We already said we were going to do this. So I said, okay. I said, okay. Take now thought for tomorrow or something like that. Other feelings and emotions to consider is what Danielle says. There's other emotions and feelings to consider, mainly mine. Okay. How do you think I feel about you all of a sudden starting to have or wanting to have a family with another woman? What if you decide to move to Brazil to be with her? And actually, he does say in his confessionals that if Bert does have a baby and she wants him there, or if he feels like they're never going to get the visa, he will have to spend some time in Brazil. And Danielle's just going to have to pray about it to get over it. So Danielle doesn't feel comfortable moving forward, but she's going to follow her priesthood holder, her husband, and move forward. By the way, you guys, if you guys have a Trader Joe's in your area, I really do enjoy this Badger Hound wine. It's a Zinfandel. I mean, I don't necessarily have the best taste in winery, but I do enjoy it. Oh my God, Saraya, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, you guys. You guys, I definitely appreciate it. I have to get my YouTubing together. So I've made a plan with myself that I'm going to try to go live at least 3 times a week, and we'll see what we can do with that. But that's exactly what I'm going to be trying to do. Oh, Domestic Gordita, he's obsessed with Bert. She's hot though. She's hot. Kanai says, is this still airing? I thought it ended. It's still airing in my heart. Okay. It's still airing on TLC Go. It's still airing on Discovery Plus, girl. No, it's not actually airing. I'm just catching up because I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm a bad recapper, guys. You know this about me. I go through a lot and I just shut down. All right. So, I can export my concerns. I can express my concerns, but I'm going to do it anyway. God willing is what she says. So the kids and Danielle are meeting Bert. It's been 8 months since the Merrifields have seen Bert. And, she's been living in like the mountains or the hills or something. And she's been having really, really poor reception. So she hasn't been able to talk to them as much. And the family thinks that it's a good idea for Danielle's parents and the boys to go to Puerto Vallarta or somewhere in Mexico. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Puerto Vallarta. They rented a villa. They splurged on a villa because of COVID-19. And it's a good idea for all of them to get on a plane, go to Mexico in order to not be there for Bert and Garrett's wedding, but to be there while Bert and Garrett try to have a baby. This is the weirdest vacation of my life, okay? Why is it that Danielle, her family, the boys, why are they there? Why are they there? Why is it that they are there to support Garrett and Bert with conception? To conceive. Is that the word? Conception? Conception is what it sounds like to me. Can someone tell me? I'm just going to wait. Hi, JW. I'm going to wait. Lynn J, thank you so much for putting that out there. I need to do more on my second channel as well. I got to do an update on my fibroids. Did you guys know that I can drink now? And it's after the surgery. I haven't been able to drink since I was 19 years old. Cheers. Why is it that these people have decided, people have decided that they are going to go to Mexico to aid Garrett in the conception of his half Brazilian people? Thank you for the super chat, Hard to Know. I don't recognize your login. But I want to thank you so much for that super chat. I want to thank you so much for it. Cheers. Clink, 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 as Julesy would say. Clink, clink, clink. Okay, it's weird. It's so weird. All right, so they get to the villa. It is beautiful, okay? And it's really important for Garrett that he has the support of Danielle's family because his family has disowned him due to his choice to be a polygamist, which I find to be Very interesting. I don't know if it feels to me that Garrett's family are the type of Christians that are like, if you don't practice my Christianity, then you are doing something extra, and that extra is of the devil. Because why would you cut off your grandchildren? Why would you cut off your child? So they truly, in their spirit, feel that what he's doing is of the devil, is not even anything in the doctrine, even though there's definitely polygamy in the Bible. That good old testament, you know what I'm saying? That good old testament. We also got some stuff in Song of Solomon. You know, I believe Abraham was a polygamist. Was Sarah his only wife? Don't quote me. Don't quote me. I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is that polygamy is in the Bible. So for any Christian to like disown someone because they want to practice polygamy is an interesting choice, especially your own child. So, you know, not sure. Oh my God, Danielle, you gave me 49? I thought you gave me like, Danielle, girl, that super chat, girl, Danielle. Okay, girl, listen, let me just text you and be like, girl, what are you doing? Thank you so much, girl. How come I don't have your number? We have to rectify that. I don't have your number. Oh, yes, I do. I just have it under Danny. That's why. I just put in your last name just now to be like, how come I don't have her number? She has to be the only orgasm I... Girl! Okay, anyways, thank you, girl. Yo, that was a $50 super chat. Girl, let me just put that back up there. I love you. And I hope you and the baby are well. I love you. Thank you so much for the baby. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so anyways, the guys, you know, it's bananas. It is absolutely bananas. It is, I mean, just this entire situation is so obvious to everyone watching it. And I just want Danielle to get out of this relationship and do what works best for her. But I think she's scared, and also the dogma is what's stopping her from doing what's right for her and what's right in her spirit. Because here's my thought. If God is telling Garrett that his next step is to have a polygamy relationship, why isn't all of Danielle's trepidation God as well? You know, do you get what I'm saying? Like, what is it that makes his thought of bringing somebody else into this relationship okay, but her thoughts about not wanting somebody into this relationship not okay, not from God? How do you distinguish when it's the word of God versus not the word of God? That's what I want to know. So they get the villa. It's beautiful. Everybody's there. Producers ask the boys if they're okay with having Bert there, and they say they would love a second mom. They don't want a baby sister because girls are gross. They would like a baby brother, and that everything is okay. And then they get into the master suite and they see the view, and Garrett's like, oh, this is me and Bert's room. And Danielle's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, girl, Danielle, you have to recognize that you are not the first wife. Okay, you're the second wife. You are the second wife. Girl, you know, Tam Carr, we can sing God's Property all day long. That album, okay? That album. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a church goer. I'm a former believer. But that album and most gospel music touches my spirit more than anything else. Okay, so Danielle ends the segment with saying that it's not her choice and that she's going to leave it in God's hands. And I said, girl, how do you know that you're not right? Giselle says, because in Christian faith, for some people, the man is the head, so God speaks to the head and women are the helper. I came from a Christian cult like that. And that is just so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that that is what, what is happening. Oh my God, hard to know. I'm going to keep your name. I'm going to keep your name in my head. Thank you so much for the super chat. Girl, you don't have the super chat. I can see you. I can see you now. I can see you now. Thank you so much for that super chat. Lori says, I was on my way to bed and saw Why Live. Won't hurt to stay up a little longer. Girl, I won't waste your, I won't hold you. I won't waste your time. Let's get on to the next couple. So in conclusion, I feel really bad for Danielle, but at the same time, she got a voice and she needs to use it. Okay. She got a voice and she needs to use it. And I see her parents there, and her parents are even against this. So that's the thing that I'm like, your side of the family is not is Christian and not necessarily cool with it, especially your sister-in-law. So it's not like you're this odd person out and that nobody's on your side. You're just choosing to be with Garrett and support Garrett and his nonsense. And I just don't understand why. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is the Winders, or are the Winders. This is Kermit, Tammy, and the redheaded wife. Can't recall her name at this moment. So this couple, they go to a park, and the redhead has had her beautiful baby, Hezekiah, or, Elijah, or Jeremiah, or it's one of those Old Testament names. And they go to this park they haven't been to in a long time, and to talk about Kimberly, okay? So Kimberly is the sister wife, or the potential sister wife, who came to visit them for about 2 days. And Tammy and the sister wife, whose name I can't recall at this moment, Sophie, I believe her name is Sophie, are getting along swimmingly. I mean, Tammy and Kimberly and Sophie are getting along so well, and they just really need Kermit to get on board. But Kermit is not on board. Kermit feels like he has no connection to her. Tammy and Sophie loved that she helped them out in the kitchen, that it felt really natural, but Kermit doesn't think they're compatible, and he hasn't decided. He didn't feel anything. And so my thought is, sir, is that if you don't feel something, if you didn't hear that divine word of God that said this person is the person for you, then perhaps it isn't the person for you, because their idea of a courtship is a courtship with an intent to marry. So before you enter into a courtship, you've already kind of decided that this is the person that God has put in your path for you to potentially marry. And listen, I don't think anything's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? What is this? What is this? He described his personality as drier than a popcorn fart. Oh, who said that? Who said that? To me, he's just like so boring. But that, I mean, listen, I actually feel like this couple, this polygamy group, is probably the best equipped to handle polygamy in actual. One, because Sophie has seen this work out in real life, and she's seen it not work out in real life. And Tammy, because she's so willing, and Kermit, because he's very even tempered. Like, he's very even keeled. I don't know what disagreements he would have with his wife. I don't actually know what conversations he would have with his wife, like besides Frogger and how he got to the end of Oregon Trail without dying of dysentery. Like, he gives me very boring vibes. Like, he's a pharmacist as well as a farmer, and he's trying to hold all these things together. So to me, his wives are more so where they are so that they can support each other while he supports them. And then he sleeps in a different bed every night and has more kids, so that when him and his family ascend to heaven, they can all reach the same level of heavenry together. And, part of the Mormon faith, or this, fundamentalist portion of the Mormon faith, is that the more family you have, the higher level of heaven you'll reach, which to me is just like a marketing ploy to get people who are in a new religion to create more children so that there's more people of that religion. But, I'm not going to try to deny, listen, people, y'all, you do what you got to do in order to get your religion on and popping. You know what I'm saying? It happens in every religion, right? The early Judaism, and even Judaism now with the Orthodox Church, right, is all about having as many kids as God will give you. And people are like, oh, it's a blessing. And the Catholics are the same way too. But mainly it's to keep more Catholics being born in the world, right? Like, obviously you shouldn't practice birth control. Obviously you shouldn't let go of a baby or let go of some cells that have gathered because you need more people for that religion. Fozzie Bear says, why can't women have multiple husbands? Let's be fair. You're right. But there are some women who are not Christian, who are in like a nomadic Mongolian tribe it's all about. It's like, I think it's called melandry. I found the word a couple of weeks ago. It's called it's not called polyandry, but it's like something else where it's a woman has more than one wife. Listen, I'm all about equality. Okay. I'm a feminist. I'm all about equality. So here we go. So not really ready to move on with the courtship, but Sophie is so filled with her postpartum emotions that she starts to cry because she really feels like they did it, that they successfully have two half siblings love each other, right? Hezekiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Jebediah, one of those names is really close with the daughter that Tammy and Kermit have already. And I'm happy for her. Listen, if you want a big, exciting family, I support you. I support you. I support this. If this works out for them, I 100% support their pursuit of wanting to create a big, giant family on a farm that's doing the damn thing. As long as every kid gets the amount of love and support that they need, I support it. Okay? I support it. So that's all we have to talk about for the Winders at this point. Now let's move on to the next couple. I'm going to actually tonight, before I go to bed or while I'm going to bed, I'm going to watch the last episode and I'll have something to talk about with you guys tomorrow once I finish my mani-pedi. So I'll go live tomorrow. I don't know what time exactly. My mani-pedi is at 6. Oh, I'm not going to be here by 8. I'll go late and then you guys can just rewatch it. It's fine. You guys are fine, right? Everyone's fine. Okay. Next couple that we're going to talk about is this couple, except for we're not going to include Kayla in this. So we've got the Clarks. Now, Clarks are still reeling from the breakup with Kayla, and they found a new sister wife that they are kind of courting, who lives in Texas. I believe they're in Virginia, so they're not close to this wife. But he's excited about it. And Gerard says that at some point he was thinking that he couldn't be a king for a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? He said that he was having weak moments, thinking that polygamy was not right for them because the journey has been so hard. And that struck me right here because it made me go to myself, you know what? At the end of the day, even though we felt like Gerard was just doing this on some weird, I want more than one wife, and especially I want a biracial / light-skinned wife situation. I want to surround myself with desirable women that other men will find desirable, because that's what it was giving me a lot in the very beginning, okay? It was giving me anti-blackness tease. So, well, not anti-blackness, but just colorism tease that I didn't appreciate it. But I didn't say it because, I don't want to put that on nobody. But anyways, so they're having a slip and slide in the backyard, and him and Vanessa, his wife, are talking about, the new wife or the new potential wife and how she's living in Texas. She's got 2 kids. She's 37. She seems like an adult. She's she knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. And I'm like, yeah, 37 woman with 2 kids and a nurse is going to know what she wants more likely than a 22-year-old who needs help. And I feel like Gerard tried to step in and save up, and it backfired on him because then he treated her like she was this little girl whose only job was to sit up in the house and take care of the kids. Now, if he gets the new girl to come to the house, Crystal, I might have called her Danielle, but her name is Crystal. Then Crystal got a whole career. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be taking care of the kids in a different manner. And maybe Crystal will work and Vanessa will stay home because Vanessa says that she wants to stay home. And Gerard says that Crystal is the queen. And at this point, he's up to having maybe 4 wives. And Vanessa's like, okay, let's just try to get a second one. Okay? Let's just try to get a second one. And let that second one stick. So they're having a good time in the backyard with the kids, just kind of talking about their feelings and what's going on. And, Gerard has a confessional where he starts to tear up because he was like, I was weak. I didn't think I could do it. But then I guess he realized he could. So that's really what's happening with them at this moment. Let's move on to one of my favorite couples. I want to talk about broke Captain Jack Sparrow, and please add me to your cult, Tasha. So we've got Tasha and broke Jack Sparrow. Okay, so they have been entertaining a sister wife by the name of, or potential sister wife by the name of Alexandra. Now, Alexandra is the kindergarten teacher or the ex preschool teacher who's like on a walkabout right now. She was in the forest. They had a date. Alexandra mentioned that she doesn't know if she's ready to have kids. Okay. But Sidian is so excited about it that he goes home and tells Tasha, and then they decide to have a connection with Tasha to see if things worked out. And then while she's there, Alexandra asks some very important questions. She asks, why do you want to do this? What's in it for you, Tasha? And Tasha says, I'm just looking for a bestie. I'm looking for somebody to raise kids with. I'm looking for somebody to have this connection with and to have a happy home with. And it's not something that I grew up in, but it's something that I'm willing and think that it's a great idea for me and Sidian. And so then Alexandra asks about the kids and whether or not Tasha has kids. And so Tasha explains that she doesn't have kids because she's waiting to have a sister wife so that they can discuss how they want to have kids going forward. I can't recall how old Tasha is, but all I keep thinking is like, why do you need a sister wife to decide whether or not you want to have kids? Like, you guys are having a really hard time finding a sister wife wherever it is that you are. I think they're in Idaho or Indiana, a state starting with an I, and they're having a very hard time doing so. And unfortunately, it makes Tasha cry, upset, because she really does want this like sisterhood, this camaraderie with a person. And she says that in the beginning, she didn't really feel like a mother. But as she grew to learn and love the family, that she really did feel like this was the life for her, and that the kids call her mom. They recognize her as a mother, and she likes that. And here, I feel like if that's what Tasha wants, that's what Tasha wants. She feels like the kind of person who wants to be in a cult or wants to be involved in group activities. Tasha doesn't strike me as the type of person to really strike out on her own and make her own decisions. You know, I just really feel like she is just like, please let me be your follower. I'm really good at following. And Sidian is that person that she wants to give that energy to, and I can't stop her for it. Danny says, I feel like sister wives would work better if the wives picked each other first and then interviewed the men. Listen. I don't know if that's not wrong, because it really feels like Tammy and Sophie are all about that life. They're like, listen, let me find a girl and then we'll present her to you. And if you don't like her, then we can move on. Because even Kermit was like, if you want to remain friends with her, you can be friends with her. I just don't know that I want to do that with her. Sierra says, it's funny how the women want other women to help raise kids. Like these men get totally off the hook and ill-equipped to be hands-on fathers. Soraya says, preach, Sierra. Now, here's the deal. I don't know what that means. Like, I listen, if the man is the provider, he doesn't necessarily need to have help. I don't necessarily know that I'm like, oh, I need my husband to help me. I feel like I truly just need someone to. Like, I don't know if it needs to be that father figure, but it does, I think, to a certain extent. And how much of that is nurture? How much of that is nature, right? Right? Is it nature that children need, you know, the father figure in their life? Is it like a nature thing, like an ingrained, or is it a nurture thing? It's like, as long as they have two people in their lives or one person in their lives that can fulfill that role, like, is it okay? Who knows? I don't know. Ross says that somebody was recently arrested. Giselle says who, and we all want to know who. Listen, Ra, you can't just come in here and just drop information like this and not provide, you know, information. Listen, this is a community, okay? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're new here, but this is a community. So we're going to ask who, what, when, and where. How'd you get that information? Please drop a link below. Okay? We need receipts. All right, so that's it for the Joneses. Oh no, I didn't finish. So basically, Alexandra says that, oh, Tasha was arrested. Okay, here we go. Here's the Google. Tasha from Seeking Sister Wife. Tasha from Seeking Sister. So it says there's just some soap dirt. What does soap dirt says? Oh, woo-hoo-ha! Charged with a felony. Charged with a felony. Charged with a felony. June 5th, 2021. Seeking sister wife Tasha Jones charged for felony with Sidian's first wife. It appears that Seeking sister wife Tasha and Sidian Jones left a little out when sharing their relationship history with TLC cameras. In the third season premiere episode, Sidian and Tasha reveal that they've been together for about 4 years. After meeting at work, Sidian was married to his first wife and mother of his two of his 3 children at the time. But Sidian and his first wife were actively looking for a second wife, and Tasha was open to the idea. A few months after meeting, Tasha and Sidian began dating. About 3 months into things, we basically eased into Tasha coming to live with us, Sidian recalls. Sidian's first wife eventually had second thoughts, and Tasha moved out. The relationship between Sidian and Tasha, oh shit, where did it go? The relationship between, the relationship between Sidian and his first wife fell apart, and Tasha later moved back in. They would eventually start looking for a sister wife. About a year later is when TLC's cameras showed up for Seeking a Sister Wife. What Sidian and Tasha failed to mention is that Sidian's first wife, what Sidian and Tasha failed to mention is that Tasha and Sidian's first wife were both charged with felonies in January 2016, one for burglary and the other for theft. Sidian's first wife was arrested on January 4th for felony burglary. A misdemeanor charge was later added. One day after Sidian's first wife was arrested, a criminal complaint was filed against Tasha for felony theft. A warrant was issued for Tasha, and she was eventually arrested in 2016. And here is her mugshot, which I'm going to dutifully snip for you guys. Okay, here we go. I'm going to snip this so you can see Tasha, who's still very much giving me, I will help you kidnap people and hide them in the basement. That's what she's giving me. Okay, I told you the child gives me, please let me be in your cult, I will follow you. I don't have an anchor to my own life. Okay, let's see what else. Let me find this picture. Okay, desktop. Okay, snippet. Okay, here's Tasha. Okay, here we go. We're gonna add it to this. And then we're going to post it. Okay, this is her mugshot. Okay, she's very much giving me, please let me help you bury bodies in the basement. Please let me help you hold other women captive. Okay. Tasha was initially charged with felony, but she would later cut a plea deal and found guilty for misdemeanor petty theft. She was given a suspended sentence and was placed on unsupervised probation. The judge withheld judgment on the case after Tasha completed her probation. The charges were dismissed. Listen, I need to know exactly what they did. The burglary charge against Sidian's first wife was dismissed, and she was placed on probation for theft charges. Unfortunately, she didn't adhere to stipulations of her probation like Tasha. She was arrested for a probation violation May of 2016, and once more a year later. Actual court documents from the cases are not available online, and it is currently the weekend, so Sarcasm doesn't know what allegedly taken by these 2 women. Tasha's theft wasn't her first run-in with the law. In 2009, she was charged with a misdemeanor, blah, 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 blah. But, she's, not a woman of color, so this didn't probably affect her life a whole hell of a lot. Okay, let's take that down. That was a little, thank you for Ra for telling us that. And we did a little quick deep dive. We did a little quick deep dive. Let me find that. Hold on. Let me find it for you guys. Tasha, Seeking Sister Wife. And then I'll find it again and I'll drop it in the comment section so you guys could review it yourself and get your information that way. But I wonder what she stole. In my mind, they were like stealing from a thrift store. You know what I'm saying? Like that seems like right up their alley. And it doesn't feel like a home invasion type situation. It feels like a thrift store and or like a Ross theft. You know what I'm saying? Feels like I stole from Ross. You know what I'm saying? Stole from a thrift store type situation. Okay, anyways, there you guys can check out the thing. So basically Alexandra says that she's not down with this, mainly because, and she's not ready for it. Not that she's not down with it, she's just not ready for it at this moment. And that she wouldn't be fair for her to kind of enter into this relationship with them when she doesn't even know if she wants to have children, she wants to take care of other people's children, or she wants to be married herself. And I thought that was very fair of her to do. And like great for the the couple's storyline. You know what I'm saying? So Tasha ends up crying in the confessionals because they're really worried that they're never going to find someone. And I think they will find somebody after being on this show. They're going to find somebody. She just doesn't want this relay. You know what I'm saying? As Chris would say, she doesn't want this relay. And I feel her deep in my soul when she says that she's not ready to be the mother to other people's children. That hit me in my spirit. That hit me right up in the chest. I was like, whew. Oh no, Saraya, I made that up. I made it up. I don't know if I just, I look at Tasha and I think she goes to the thrift store. I recently went to the thrift store. And it's a whole situation. I was in there looking at everything, okay? And I've been to thrift stores before, and I know people who thrift. I did like a what's that called? When YouTubers back in like 2016 used to do videos together. What was it called? Combination. What was it called? Something. I don't know. But anyways, it was like I did that with my good friend, not my good friend, but a friend of mine on YouTube, Isabel, and she does thrifting a lot. And her aesthetic is 90s. So she was always getting like really cute silk shirts and dresses and thick-soled shoes and like wide leg pants that she was like changing and making work for her and her body type. And it was great. And so I did a collab. That's what I did. Thank you, Jessie Lee. Thank you guys. I did a collab with her and I actually found a really cute jacket for her in the thrift store, but I don't usually go. I mainly donate to thrift stores and then I donate and I go, ooh, somebody's going to have some cute ass size 10 shoes because that's what I wear. And I don't give out crap shoes. Like I give out good shoes, that have been slightly worn. Nothing that has like dirty soles and the footbed of the shoe don't be dirty, nothing like that. And so I'm always like, ooh, somebody gonna get some good Cole Haan size 10s. Ooh, you're about to get some good shoes. Anywho, so I don't really go into them. But I went into one yesterday, because I was looking for some clothing for my sister and I's. We're doing a murder mystery on Saturday, this coming up Saturday, and it's set in the 80s. And 80s now is considered vintage. When I used to go thrifting, or when I went to a couple thrift stores when I was younger, like in my 20s, I was looking for 70s clothes, and now 80s clothes and 90s clothes are all the rage. So anyways, I was in a thrift store, and I was like, I need a shirt, I need to look for some buttons, and I need to look for some earrings. Let me show you what I got. This is completely off topic, but we're basically done with the review. We're basically done with it. So, hey, those of you guys who are not here for my thrifting haul, we're basically done with this. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will be going live tomorrow to talk about episode 12, which is the series finale. And then I'll probably rewatch some Married at First Sight. And I'll actually finish that out because, I'm not a quitter. Okay, maybe procrastinator, but not a quitter. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be you, be true, and have a fantastic day. Bye. Okay, now let me get my dress that I got for my thing. So I was on Etsy and I got this dress and it has shoulder pads on it and it's a long dress. You can't really see what it looks like. 3/4 sleeve. and it's green. But look at these buttons. These buttons are whack. These are whack buttons. I was like, I could get some more like shinier buttons. This is a Karen Stevens dress. Don't know what that means. Okay. It's got some elasticity back here. And yeah, it's like a polyester blend. So I wanted to find some earrings as well as some buttons to go on it to give it a real 80s look. I also got a clip-on bow to put in the back, and I'm going to get some necklaces and some bracelets. But here are my earrings that I got that were $3. And I'm like, ah, so 80s. Look at these earrings. So they're going to go in my ears, as earrings are wont to do. And then I got some buttons like this. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take off this button up here is just like a solid black, but then there's other hidden buttons. So whatever button shows, that's the button. So it looks like one, I'm sorry, can you see that? One and then 2, 3 buttons actually show. So I was like, am I gonna find buttons? I was just thinking that I would find an 80s dress and just purchase it and then just take the buttons off of them and use them. But I was thinking that either I would use this button instead of that black one I showed you, and I have 3 of them, or I would use this button, which is kind of giving me like an opal like situation. The way you say buttons. I know my sister says, I can't say buttons anymore. I don't know why. Sounds like I'm being British. You got some buttons. So I say buttons, which doesn't help anymore. So I got this button here that I might use. And I think that's it. This one's a little Christmassy. So I was like, you know what? Also, while I was there, I was like, you know what? What if I got some like 80s inspired dishware? You know, it'll be like $10 for an entire set, and I don't have to keep them afterwards because I don't want to use my mother's china because, you know, even though it's never been used and purchased, I can't, listen, we got a whole china cabinet full of dishes that will never, ever be used. And I won't be able to use them for this dinner party because there will be so much scrutiny about using dishes that have never been used. And I want you to know that when they go, I'm not going to use that shit. I'm going to give it to a thrift store. So what's the point in having dishes in a curio cabinet / china cabinet that you are never, ever going to use? Not only are you not going to use it, you don't let anyone else use it. So anyways, let me just go ahead and be quiet because I don't know who's at my door listening to my conversations. But what I'm saying is that I'm just going to go to the thrift store and find some dishes that are from the 80s and use them for my dinner party. And not use the ones that are here for free. No, I won't use them. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Oh, no, this has shoulder pads. Girl, don't trip. Oh, do not trip. Don't trip. Don't trip. This has a shoulder pad. Yeah, I had to make sure it has shoulder pads. And that dress cost me like $38. And I was like, where in the world do you get off charging us $38 for this dress? But I purchased it. You know, it's all for the fantasy. So it's for the fantasy. And I got a big floppy bow so I can wear it with a wig. What did Ross say? Someone's like, I like how you say buttons. Oh, thank you. That's what she said. Thank you guys so much for supporting my Shannon Van. My dad thinks I want his china when he passes. No, thank you, sir. No, nobody want that. Listen, I used to work with Crate and Barrel, and people used to come in also talking about looking for china patterns. And I was like, girl, don't nobody want this china pattern. First of all, listen, china is for when you have people to wash dishes for you. Because if you serve plates on china and you or any of your party has been drinking, The moment y'all go to wash them dishes, something is going to break or chip. That's why you have to, when you have China, you have to have people there whose specific job is there to wash your dishes and not break your shit. Okay? Oh, I'm excited for my eye makeup too, girl. Friday and Saturday before the party is going to be lit. Like, I'm going to be really preparing. So anyways, I'm going to the thrift stores to find 80s items to kind of decorate the house. I want to find a tablecloth. I mean, we do have tablecloth from the 80s here because my parents were married in 1976. So a lot of their marriage stuff is 70s, 80s. So we have it here, but you know, you can't be using people's stuff because, you know, they be real particular about their old ass shit that don't nobody use. All right, you guys, so that is the end of this video. Follow me on Snapchat at WickedWa. Yeah, Jessie girl. I am. So let me show you what it says. Follow me on Snapchat at WickedWa. Let me know your Snapchat name in here so that I can know to add you. Because I realize now on Snapchat, because I'm private, whenever I add somebody, it makes me have to like watch their stuff too. And it's not that I don't want to watch your stuff. It's just that I don't know you, right? So I'm all of a sudden watching your guys' lives. No, it's weird. Let me know so I'll add you and then I know not to watch your stuff. But anyways, yes, I'm throwing this party. Okay, let me show you what it is. So it's a murder mystery. I got it from Target. And I went back to Target to look to see if there was any other options for this kind of murder mystery game. But they set it all up for you, okay? So here's what it's called. It's called a murder mystery game, Secrets of Emerald Hill. And I'm like, okay, there's a martini on front. Should I buy a martini? So you open it, and it's like this. Isn't this beautiful? It was $19. It was about 20 bucks. So in each of these is a card, and the card has the name of the person who's the character and their secret. I haven't opened it, so I don't know. Because I'm a participant in this party, I don't want to know any of their secrets, okay? So when they get here, I'm going to give them their card of their secret, explain to them that this is their secret that no one knows about and that they need to incorporate that in their character building. And then here are some place cards that we sit on the dining room table or on the table. So, and it has their name on it so that everybody's aware of who's who because we're sitting around the table, right? I'm also going to give them name cards that has their name on it too, just in case, you know, people are too excited. So here is the invitations. They actually gave us invitations that we were supposed to mail out, but we didn't. Let me just give you an example of what my sister filled out without having my address on there. But yeah, so we sent this out in a text message to the people who we thought would be willing to participate. Saturday, July 10th, 9 p.m. 8 RSVP by and like who's thrown by me, my sister. Okay, so they even give you invitations, okay, with envelopes. So you were supposed to send this in the mail, but I didn't want anybody to get anything lost in the mail and then be all confused about who, what, when, and where. And on the inside of it, of the invitation, is your character. So here's a little bit about the plot of the murder mystery and then your character. So for example, let me read to you 8 people. The mystery of Emerald Hill and outer reaches of London's most sought-after postcode. Sorry, let me read this guy. Acting. Ha ha! Ma me me mo moo. Red leather, yellow leather. There we go. She's ready. At the outer reaches of London's most sought-after postcode sits Emerald Hill, the city's highly exclusive gated community. When Mr. Addington, the snobbish owner of the estate, is found dead on the marble floor of his en-suite bathroom, it's clear that his death was no accident. Each of the residents is hiding a secret, an explosive secret, but only one of them would go so far as to kill in order to protect that secret. Set in the 80s when hair was big and shoulder pads were bigger, this immersive murder mystery will see you and your fellow dinner guests becoming both murder suspects and detectives for the evening. Will you be able to unravel the clues, pinpoint the motives, and solve the murder before the coffee is served? And then it gives a little bit about the character. So this character is Tiffany Wild. Tiffany Wild, you are a former aerobics instructor who has made a fortune from your videotapes. Bubbly, interjected, upbeat, and sometimes annoyingly so. So you've become a household name with your catchphrase, it's time to fight the fat. So it gives you a little bit about the characters and who they are as people, right? And then after that, we sit around and we have dinner. And so here is this little like instruction booklet. And in it explains the characters. It talks a little, it gives a little picture about like what the food should look like. Look how 80s this is, you guys. In fact, this is so 80s and borderline racist that every description of the person in there has something to do with their physical attributes, which all points to them being white. So it was just like, so what we did is we ended up changing just the genders and obviously the race, because I don't have any non-Black people coming to this event, at least for this dinner party. And then it gives you a menu suggestion. The menu suggestion is prawns cocktail with avocado, which is definitely a shrimp cocktail. A veau au vent, which is some kind of French thing. A Caesar salad, which is like basic AF right now, but maybe in the 80s was like very shishi boo boo. And then a main course, which is coa vin, which is some kind of like, I don't know, some dish that Chris wants to try to make. It's like a chicken dish. Cheese fondue, beef Wellington, which we're actually making is the beef Wellington. We're making a vegan mushroom stroganoff and chicken Kiev, which we're not going to make. Then dessert is tiramisu, Arctic roll, Bake Alaska, and Black Forest Gâteau. So feel free to take the theme a bit further by using 80s decorations and creating appropriate music playlists for the evening. So there will be some Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston playing, okay? And then we're also inviting extra people just so that they can play other games. Like if people don't want to be involved in the actual murder mystery, there will be a dominoes table, there will be a spades table, there will be other tables, and then there's a whole like packet per course. So starters. So while we're eating our chicken Caesar salad, everyone gets a script. And they have lines. Girl, this is intense. Oh, good. I'm going to tell Chris because she wants to make it. Girl, this is intense, okay? So follow me on Snapchat if you guys want to see like the prep, the time of, and everything, because I'll be documenting it on Snapchat. So everyone gets a script, and they read through the script while we're eating our course. There's like directions. They just like explaining things to me and everything. And so it's just really exciting. It's really exciting. It might be too much. It might not have been the best thing to have other people there, but I kind of want it to be interactive. Like I want my cousins who are not participating to be like, hey, I think homegirl, that's the pop star, she did it. She looked like a killer. Like I want it to be that. And then in here is more secrets, and it's called This File Belongs to Mr. Addison Residence Notes. It's private and confidential. Haven't really opened it yet. And it just has all bunch of stuff in it that I haven't read. So when I'm prompted to by the directions, I will do so. And then here is something to read at the end. I haven't read it yet because it says read at the end. So yeah, it's pretty intense. So we're cooking for it. We've invited our guests. I double checked everybody who RSVP'd to ensure that they were still attending, because if somebody doesn't attend, I will be pissed. I didn't send this out to everyone. We just text messaged them. So I took a picture of all of their, actually we scanned it, of all of their envelopes and all of the information that they would have got prior to. We sent it to them, and we're just trying to have a good time. We're just trying to have a good time. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today for this hour, this sneak attack. And yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. Jessie Lee says, I want to play. You guys, I have to figure out how to do this like another time. Like once we figure out if this is a success, then we'll probably definitely do this again in the future. Oh girl, I'm losing everybody's secrets. Huh. Okay. Let's keep it together. At least I know where they are. Let's make sure. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's everybody. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you for staying up with me till 9 p.m. I've got to get up early tomorrow. My dog is going to get spaded, so I got to be there with her for that. And Danny, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you, everybody, for giving me these lovely super chats. Hard to know, Saraya, Danny, anyone else who gave me a super chat. I'm so sorry if I missed your name. But I really appreciate you guys. I really do. I really appreciate you guys. And I want you guys to have a fantastic week and evening. And I should be live tomorrow. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Baba Baby Blinky Blanket. She says we appreciate you so much. Thank you, guys. And I want to thank my moderator, Lynn J and Jessie Lee. We missed you yesterday. Tiana was holding it down on her own last night, but that's no problem. Girl, don't trip. But thank you guys so much. Oh, these earrings to die for. Okay, follow me on Snapchat at WickedWa. I'm private, so you're going to have to request me. Let me know it's you if you can, or if I can discern it based on your name. Otherwise, you can email me and tell me who you are. But I love you guys, and I want you guys to have a fantastic, fantastic week. If I don't see you tomorrow, then I'll see you the next day. Bye.